Estuary News today, all the latest news headlines and sport, plus a review of the week's regional papers with my guest councillor Sean Horton of East Riding Council. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Friday's programme with me, Luke Adams. First this afternoon, Humberside Fire and Rescue Service have teamed up with the Stroke Association to help stroke survivors in Hull become more active. It comes after former HFRS employee Mike Brown suffered a stroke and became a volunteer for the association. The charity Stroke Prevention Service has teamed up with Cllr Road Fire Station to provide stroke survivors with free weekly gym sessions. It will aid their recovery and help minimise the risk of further strokes. There's more than 100,000 of them every year in the UK. Final preparations are being made to the Humber Street Sesh. Around 30,000 people are expected to attend the event in Hull tomorrow. The annual event, now in its 6th year, showcases the very best in the city's diverse music scene. More than 200 acts will be performing on 20 stages in the Fruit Market area. One of only 3 small-eyed ray ever to be recorded along the Yorkshire coast has been found. An egg case from the species of fish was found at Flamborough South Landing, part of the Deep's most recent egg case hunt. The fish is more commonly found along the south and southwest coast of England. It's classed as threatened by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Now, time to have a look through the week's papers with my guest this afternoon, Councillor Sean Horton, Portfolio Holder for Community Involvement at East Riding Council. Good afternoon, Sean. Welcome to the programme. Thank you very much for coming in. A new face on this slot, so thank you for being my guest today. I see you've picked out an array of stories. What's the first story we've chosen today?
Well, thank you for inviting me along today.
You're welcome.
Very pleased to be here. First story I picked today is one that relates to the whole City of Culture.
Okay.
It's Hull Trains, and they have recorded a 15% uplift in passenger numbers over the last year. So it's record growth for Hull Trains, and that compares well against the industry average, which is around 4%. And it's a positive story, and it's showing that people are travelling from outside the City of Hull to attend the City of Culture, which is what we want.
Yeah. And I think it was to be expected, wasn't it? You know, when City of Culture started in January, it was open to people, you know, not just in the city but from outside, and it's great to see that people have actually made the effort to come and see Hull in a positive light. Yes,
absolutely. And these numbers is evidence that people are making the effort and visiting the city. So it's looking really positive, and let's hope that uplift in numbers continues right through to the end of the year and hopefully beyond, because it's the legacy of the City of Culture that it's important to sustain.
Because of course the City of Culture is a 4-year status, so like you say there, Sean, it will be interesting to see how that legacy continues post 2017, and hopefully we'll have similar results next year and beyond. Have you seen much of the City of Culture stuff yourself?
I was at the opening night with the fireworks, and I've attended a lot of the art exhibitions and been to some of the plays at Hull Truck. So yes, I'm enjoying it, and there's lots of interesting stuff to see.
And something going on like every day, isn't there? Really, you know, you could potentially do something 365 days a year.
I mean, people are used to events that last a few days or a few weeks, but a whole year, a lot of effort goes into it, and it's a lot of effort goes into sustaining it over a whole year and beyond, as we said.
Absolutely, excellent. Sean, what's our next story, please?
Second story is also one in the Hull Daily Mail, but it's been reported in other local papers such as the Scunthorpe Telegraph, and this is the case of 2 lads who about a week ago drove up to the Humber Bridge early hours in the morning and climbed to the top of one of the towers, obviously without permission, and I feel it's got a lot of sort of newspaper coverage, and obviously these lads are daredevils. They put the videos up on the internet afterwards. And it would appear that 2 individuals also climbed it back in May, so this possibly is a bit of a copycat instance. And the Humber Bridge Board are, as you would expect, very unhappy about this, and I agree with them. This is a sort of reckless thing to do.
And putting not only their lives in danger, but potentially other lives in danger as well.
Emergency services, should they need to come and rescue them, drivers,
And the height of that, it's phenomenally high, isn't it? You
I mean,
know, they're very brave to be carrying out that kind of
I
activity.
drove over the bridge to get here today, and it's only when you're up close that you really get a feel for the scale of those towers. 155 metres high, and the cables that they climbed up probably at an incline of something like 45 degrees, so it is treacherous and really dangerous. And I understand the bridge board are looking to put in more security to stop people accessing at ground level, and also bringing in private prosecutions against these two individuals
to try and enforce,
to really enforce it and discourage people.
Don't try this at home.
Absolutely.
Don't try this at home. Sean, I think we've probably got time for one more story, which I like the look of this one, about Beverley, St Mary's Church in Beverley, isn't it?
That's right. This story is to do with the fact that St Mary's Church needs a lot of renovation. This article in the whole Daily Mail focusing on the pinnacle at the top, which has now been removed. It was 600 years old, but it's obviously deteriorated over that time. It's costing £82,000 to replace, which is a lot of money, but when you think about how much the entire church is going to cost to renovate, that would appear to be in the region of £5.5 million.
And that's just one small section of the church, isn't it?
Yes. So
which dates back to 1120.
The original church, yes, 1120 when it was first built. I think this pinnacle probably was replaced sometime afterwards, but that is still 600 years old.
And Sean, thank you very much indeed for being my guest this afternoon.
Pleasure.
Now here's Jack with all the sport.
Hull City make their return to the Championship with a trip to Aston Villa tomorrow tea time. David Myler is set to make his comeback from injury, while new additions Kevin Stewart, Fraser Campbell and Ola Aina could all make their debuts for City tomorrow. Tomorrow's match will see current Villa boss Steve Bruce come against his former side for the first time since leaving the KCOM last season. The game will also mark Leonid Slutsky's first official match in charge of the Tigers. He says he's aware of Villa's qualities and expects a difficult game at Villa Park.
We will play a very difficult first match against favorite of championship. I watched last match against Watford, Aston Villa friendly match at the stadium. Yes, and I think it's really strong team, good coach with serious experience in the league. But I'm sure we have a chance, and we will play on the winner.
Grimsby Town kick off their League 2 season away to Chesterfield. Boss Russell Slade realises Chesterfield's strengths, but says his side know what is needed to get the 3 points come Saturday.
They'll look to play from the back. That's how his teams play, and you know he's had a promotion, so he knows how to get a team prepared. They've made a lot of new signings. You'll have to ask him how well they've all settled in, because I don't know, but he's got a big squad to choose from, and I think he'll be probably playing 4-3-3 or a diamond shape. Who knows? But look, we know what we're going to be doing, so that's the most important thing, and let's hope we can impose our game plan upon them.
Kick-off at the Proact Stadium is at 3 o'clock. On to rugby, and Hull FC kick off their Super 8s campaign this evening at the KCOM Stadium when they take on Salford. FC go into the game on the high of reaching the Challenge Cup final last weekend after beating Leeds Rhinos. Head coach Lee Radford says he expects his side to still be fresh and ready to compete this evening, despite their heroics last time out.
I want just enough intensity to get over the opposition. That's exactly the amount of intensity I need. I think Saturday's game, because of the atmosphere, because of the occasion, there's only two bigger games than that, and that's the grand final and the Challenge Cup final. So, that would be really difficult. But as long as we do enough to get over our opposition, week in, week out, that's what's really important for us.
And that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Jack. That's about it for today. Thank you to Councillor Sean Horton for being my excellent newspaper reviewer this afternoon. As always, if you have a news story, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv. You can also phone our news desk, which is a Grimsby number 01472315553, or write to us at the usual address. Have a great weekend. Until Monday, from all of us here, good afternoon.